With such a gorgeous landscape, it's no surprise why people travel from all around the world to visit the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival, just to get a glimpse into the colorful history that began 31 years ago. For Murrow News 8, I'm Delilah Santabria. If you haven't had the chance to stop by Mary's Cellars, located in Pullman, be sure to come by for a glass of quality wine. For Murrow News 8, I'm Delilah Santabria. These dogs are guiding their way into the hearts of the line in no time. For Murrow News 8, this is Lombard and I'm Delilah Santabria. The U.S. and Cuban presidents talked on the phone Wednesday for only the second time in more than 50 years. The Coast Guard is fining an unidentified man $5,000 after he intentionally jumped overboard from a Washington State ferry. You've probably heard that penguins are always dressed in tuxedos, but these penguins are mixing things up for China's Spring Festival. They'll be sporting red tang vests, which are traditional Chinese costumes. Red is the primary color of the Spring Festival and stands for good luck and blessing. Hayden, Idaho is planning to use the assistance of drones to help farmers monitor their crops. Empire Unmanned is the first company in the United States to receive federal authorization for the use of drones. The Cascades had a rocky start this morning. The Pacific Northwest Seismic Network said a 4.3 magnitude earthquake rumbled about 20 miles north of Ellensburg and 10 miles northeast of Cle Elum around 1 a.m. this morning. The section between Pullman and Colfax on Highway 195 has seen 260 traffic accidents and 7 fatalities in a 5-year span, an average of about 1 accident per week. As if college students needed another reason to eat pizza, Little Caesars is debuting a new pizza featuring a crust wrapped in 3.5 feet of bacon. A Springdale family's stolen cabin has been found. That's right, their entire cabin was stolen off of their property Tuesday. As if texting a thumbs up emoji to a friend when texting actual words were simply too hard, iPhones are even smarter now. Apple released the new iOS 8.3 update earlier today. Apple customers can now enjoy more than 300 new emojis. There are notable emojis including a diverse range of skin tones as well as same-sex families. Apple also included flags from 32 different countries. It's too bad I have an Android. The WSU baseball team didn't coug it last night, taking a win of 4-2 against the Gonzaga Bulldogs. Round 2 of the Sweet 16 begins today with number 2 Gonzaga facing number 11 UCLA. The Pullman Greyhounds proved to be a force to reckon with this season. The team opened the district tournament with a surprising win against the Cheney Blackhawks last night. WSU will attempt to set a new attendance record at Bailey Brayton Field with 3,700 fans filling the stands. Unfortunately, it is a sad day in sports as University of Las Vegas coach Jerry Tarkanian died today at the age of 84. We can expect some sunshine on the weekend, but unfortunately it was no joke today on April Fool's Day that we experienced weather similar to all 4 seasons. Today's high is expected to raise to 55 degrees, almost hitting a record high from 1995 at 56 degrees. Keep those rain boots handy as we move into tomorrow's forecast, as the rain will continue throughout most of the day. The rain is expected to come and stay throughout the rest of the week. Hopefully the saying remains true that April showers brings May flowers. The sunshine came out just in time today for me to hit the mall and find out what students have planned for the summer.
Came in here, stressed out freshman, leaving out confident senior, so that's a celebration in itself.
As the year comes to an end, not only are WSU students preparing for finals, but also beginning to make their summer plans. After countless hours spent studying, Cougs are ready to have fun in the sun.
I am going to 15 Mariners games this season. Big M's fan. And I don't know, I'm going back home. I have a summer internship at a publishing company, so I'll be doing that. And I'll be working at Panera.
We looking at doing a road trip starting in Arizona, kind of moving through the coast of California all the way up back home, back to Washington.
I'm just trying to get through my finals so that I can go home and just relax. I need to find a job so that I can pay for next year so I can come back. And yeah, that's about it.
Well, I'm a senior, so I'm just trying to maintain that GPA, but senioritis is taking over, and then Hawaii and Vegas.
I almost asked if I could tag along on some of their vacations. Brittany, do you have anything exciting planned for summer?
I don't have anything planned yet, but I would like to go on some of those vacations too. Thanks, Delilah.
Beginning as a 2-day event in 1984 to bring more business to a small community, the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival has blossomed into a month-long event held each year from April 1st to the 30th.
We get visitors now from all 50 states, last year all 50 states, 10 Canadian provinces, 83 other foreign countries. So people come from around the world to come to the Skagit Valley Tulip Festival. It's an economic boom for the county. It brings some traffic, but it brings an awful lot of money too.
Now that the tulips are in full bloom, hundreds of people head to the Pacific Northwest to celebrate the return of spring.
This is the first year we have been to US, and my brother is staying here, and they come here every year, and they are just impressed with the tulip show. So that's what we heard from them, and we came here first time to watch these beautiful flowers.
Most of the tulips and all daffodils are located in the Rosengard and Tuliptown Gardens, provided by the Washington Bulb Company.
You want to get your tulips in the ground in the Northwest, preferably by Halloween, by Thanksgiving at the latest, to get a spring bloom.
Some of the tulips are even named for their unique appearance, such as Seattle, Purple Dream, and Sensual Touch. In addition to the beautiful view, perfect for selfies, there is something for everyone to do. Kids even enjoy the bright scenery and splashing around in leftover rain puddles.
The colors are really pretty with all the tulips and how there's like rose and the lights.
This year also included the 30th annual Tulip Run, in which people and their pets competed. The run is one of several events put on by festival sponsors to encourage more visitors to the area.
This is really our second year doing it, and we love it. It's fun.
Beginning as just a hobby in his basement, Patrick Mary never thought winemaking would become a lifestyle. After moving to Pullman to pursue a degree in computer science at WSU, Mary found another opportunity with roots closer to home, leading to the opening of Mary Cellars Winery in 2008.
I never knew that I was going to call Pullman my home for the rest of my life. As it turned out, though, as we continued to make more wine, sell more wine, and really become engaged in the community, that Pullman is a great place to live, work, and do business.
Mary Cellars Winery produces 5,000 cases of wine annually, which is 12,000 gallons of wine. Clearly, this is an upgrade from where Patrick Mary began making wine just 13 years ago.
We bring the fruit in fresh and process it here on site. Everything from hand sorting, crushing, destemming, through primary fermentation and pressing, it's all done right here.
Mary shares his passion with others by allowing the public to come to the winery to taste his handcrafted red and white blends. He even lent space to WSU's Viniculture Club to create their own wine. Due to its school-affiliated name, the most popular selling wine is a red blend called Crimson. Mary does not advertise his wine, but does business by word of mouth. The next time you visit a local restaurant in Pullman, be sure to check the wine list for a Mary Cellars bottle. Sit, stand, stay, come, let's go. These are just a few of the commands used by WSU Guiding Paws, a club that raises puppies to give eyes to the blind.
These dogs give like a sense of freedom to the people, like people that wouldn't be able to go out to like a grocery store and are now confident to go out because like they don't need to have a cane with them all the time.
The club is an affiliate of Guide Dogs for the Blind, a nonprofit organization that breeds golden retrievers and Labrador retrievers to service the blind and visually impaired.
We get them when they're about 8 to 12 weeks old. We get them off of what's called the puppy truck, and they get driven up to us from San Rafael, California, and then we have them for a little over a year, and we train them their basic obedience, their house behavior, we socialize them, and that's really the main part of what we do.
The club meets twice a month for training sessions in which puppy raisers work together to prepare the dogs to go into formal training, the next step in becoming a guide dog.
We'll bring them anywhere from class to the grocery store to movie theaters. Anywhere we go, they go too. Because just like a blind person is going to do, they're going to come everywhere with them. So it's important to get that exposure while they're still young.
After completing 8 phases of training, they graduate. That's when the raisers pass on the pups to their new owners. Other people too, they say, which proved to be true this Valentine's Day at Lincoln Heights Veterinary Clinic, where pet owners gathered for an unusual date with their canine friends. With the help of Inland Northwest Blood Center and the Pet Emergency Clinic Blood Bank, Lincoln Heights hosted their 3rd annual People Pet Blood Drive. Dog owners and their pets went through a similar process, which began with a tasty treat. Humans could donate in a nearby bus provided by the Inland Northwest Blood Center, while their dogs were screened to qualify as a potential donor.
They do blood typing, which is probably the biggest criteria. They have to be a certain blood type. And then they start testing for infectious diseases, and then just to make sure that in general they're very, very healthy, and then they can become a donor.
Donor dogs must be 1 to 6 years old, more than 60 pounds, and able to lie still for 7 minutes. Dogs can donate every 8 weeks, but their blood can only be stored for 5 before going bad.
One donation is a pint, just like with a human. It's the same amount. We use actually the same bags. And one donation will give us 2 bags of blood and 2 bags of plasma. And then that just depends on the size of the dog who needs the transfusion as to how far that actually goes.
Depending on the case, veterinarians may have to go to outside sources for more blood if there are not enough donors in the area. After the exam, dogs and their owners are rewarded with a bandana and t-shirt for their contribution in helping to save others' lives. Many dogs like Buddy are spreading the love today on Valentine's Day with drops of blood. For Murrow News 8, I'm Delilah Sanabria. If you ever take a drive down Kamiakin Street in downtown Pullman, you may see a little shop on the corner called Glassfamy. Glassfamy is the only smoke shop in Pullman and one out of only a couple other places in Washington to incorporate glass blowing into their business.
Glass blowing, unlike any other medium, you can't actually touch. You can't physically touch the glass because it's thousands of degrees. So you can really only manipulate it through gravity and centrifugal forces and heat.
Customers, or glass swimmers, as owners Mike Porter and Willow Falcon call them, can customize their own pieces according to size, color, and type.
The best customers come out the most satisfied when they have an open mind and are patient, because glass blowing is very challenging, and a lot of people think that you wave the magic wand and poof, the picture in their head comes out in glass, but it's a lot more challenging than that.
With just a few tools, heat, and some clever techniques such as fusing glass together, separating it, blowing out bubbles, or sucking air out, glass blowers can create anything from a bee to the Simpson family.
You can bet your glass you'll be blown away by the functional art at Glassfamy, even your everyday drinking glass. For Murrow News 8, I'm Delilah Sanabria.